Hello, and welcome to the final episode of Top 9 Podcast. My name is Tom Cassidy. With me today is my co-host Adele Carollo.
Hello.
Turn that music off, Death. With us today is Death, because it's our last episode. It's coming to take Top 9 to podcast heaven.
Hell.
That's fair.
There's only one place where this podcast goes, and it is hell. Happy
fair.
second night of Hanukkah.
Wait, isn't it the first night of Hanukkah?
No,
Yesterday
last
was the
night
first.
Listen,
Sunday was?
on
Yesterday.
podcast death, I know when Hanukkah is.
Fair enough. That does make sense. Folks, listen. We had a good run, right? Some would say.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Sad. Disappointed. You know, it's not great.
No?
No.
Oh, well, I mean, listen.
The only part I feel good about is that we tried and we gave a good effort and we committed. We gave you episodes every week
We
besides
did.
a 2-week break once. So, you know, we were committed and that means something, right?
Hey, you gave it a shot too. And I mean, you know, this doesn't have to be the end of your podcast journey, and I hope you don't think it is, right?
I would love to do
This
a podcast
shows you that you can do it. You
Sure.
did it.
with you.
Uh-huh. But you don't need me.
I kind of do.
You can get someone else to do all of this shit that I do too.
I want you.
Fair enough. Well, folks, that's what do you think?
I mean, just hearing that, there's some dead weight in this relationship, and it's not Adele.
Oh, man.
Kiss of Death. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, when I did the episode
A year
earlier-
ago?
Yeah, a year ago.
Yeah, Leo's playing Death today because the last time Leo was here, Leo's one of my favorite episodes because he told a story
Can I
about
take
him.
the hood off?
No.
All right, let me put on my...
No, you're not. You just stay like that the whole episode. And when Leo was the guest, he said he usually is the last guest on someone's podcast. So I felt like why do you lend yourself so well to misery, do you think?
Well, I just want to correct the record. I'm usually not it's like I'm usually the end of that podcast, you know?
That's
like
what you-
sometimes
The
it's
last episode of the podcast.
But no, sometimes it's like they'll do like 2 more, but it's usually the very definitive like
It's
we
over.
Don't, yeah,
The
like
beginning of the end.
and I almost want to do this as like a service, you know, like for people that are like people that are doing a podcast like this and they're like unsure and they're like, well, you know, some people listen to it, but it's going nowhere. How do we put an end to this? I want to offer this as a service. I'll come on your podcast and it'll be a very definitive period where everyone involved will be like, let's never do this again. And you as listeners will go, yeah, this is a good end for this. Don't ever want to hear anything again.
Sure. You look like one of the bad guys from Super Mario Brothers too, so that's what makes it
which one?
even funnier.
Shy Guy?
You look like, I don't know which one it is, but you look like a video game villain. So, you know, part of the reason we wanted to do this too is we appreciate everybody listening, you know.
Yep.
We don't want to just put it away and not do a last episode. Also, like, I might do just like every now and then throw up like a solo one where I'll do like a deep dive of something, like Top 9 fucking weird thing or something like that.
Wow, a real
So-
treat.
Exactly.
We're going to come back and bless you with a special episode.
What I'm saying is the channel still exists. So like there's all of these episodes with all of these funny comedians and you can watch them still, you know?
Sure.
Throw a little
So
bone
there's
to
that.
the peasants, you know?
And then,
Grace them with your comedic genius.
yeah. This is my second failed podcast. And, you know, that's another thing I told you too. The first failed podcast, these people are the biggest podcast people in the world
Yeah.
now. So that's a good sign for you.
And I feel like you guys did 2 versions of it. Didn't you do like...
Hey, keep it down, Beth. Hey,
those
Speak
two,
when you're spoken to.
those are my stats.
So anyway, but we're gonna do a top 9 today. We're gonna do top 9 YouTube comments. Me and Adele are both gonna do that.
I'll just be here.
I said you're gonna provide intellectual commentary. But yeah, man. I mean, I was looking at the comments. You know,
Yeah, it was fun to go back because, you know, we were doing Top 9. So I went all the way back to, you know, the first episode I did with you. And it was fun. It's, you know, it's a general like consensus. People tune in the mornings on the way to work. So like, I love that, hearing that, you know, great epi, like the consistency.
I looked at a lot of them too. Very positive Adele comments throughout. Generally, some of them are objectifying. It'll be interesting to see if you put any of those on the list. I assume you did, but we'll see. And yeah, there's been growth from some people. Some people have stayed stagnant. But yeah, so you can go first if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So. This is Adele's. Oh my God, you did screenshots. That's
well,
funny.
I started.
That's an easy way to do it.
It was an easier. I started not doing that, and then I started doing it. So Melly P
coming in at number 9. Melly P.
Melly P consistently dropping some algorithm love. She's done that on multiple episodes.
She's done it on almost every single episode since she has left a comment,
which I love, and she's trying to help it along, right? Like she's writing a comment with a purpose, which I love that about her. She's like, I'm gonna help this algorithm. I'm gonna get some likes. I'm gonna keep it going. So shout out to Melly P. Thank you.
Absolutely, one of our best people who watch the podcast. Fan. I put her number 5. I put Algo Love as number 5. So when there's an overlap, I'll just say where it is on the list.
I guess I put it at 9 because it's on so many episodes. So like I just felt like it was.
There's a reason I didn't put it higher too, or like lower. I mean, on the list, because first of all, it is nice that she consistently writes dropping Algo Love. But it also kind of feels like she's just like a deadbeat dad who like is pretending to be a good dad to a certain extent. Because like I think earlier on her comments were a little more like, I love this episode, Algo Love. And then I think as things went along, I felt like she kind of felt like she had to do it. And then it just was like, Algo Love. And then like I feel like the O was missing at one point. So like to me, it was nice, but it also felt like someone was like, hey, I'm a good dad, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just to be clear, the comment itself is Algo Love, right? Correct?
Yeah, it's a variation of that.
Okay.
But yeah, it got like
by that it's just
it was like
AL.
dropping some Algo Love, like, and then
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and it seemed like it got lower and lower. But we love you, Melly P. You're a good kid.
What's she gonna do now?
What's she gonna do now?
Yeah,
she's gonna have to find some more Algo Love. She's gonna have to spread her Algo Love around somewhere else.
Give me some Algo Love on my Instagram, Adele _Carollo.
Yeah.
Wow, she's already moving on fast.
My favorite. You gotta pick up and you gotta keep going. I feel like I should have done Instagram comments too, because there were really good Instagram comments. Like on Leo's poop himself video, there was a comment where we asked Leo if he ever pooped himself again, and he did like a long pause, and he was like, no. And somebody commented he definitely pooped himself again.
That's a lie.
Yeah, but that was on Instagram, so that didn't count. Coming in at number 8.
Oh, I'm doing all of them first? Oh, I didn't realize I was going first. Okay. So I have to just Jeanne Cassidy.
Okay. She made my list too. Let's see.
I mean, she's amazing. So I took it back to when
Jeanne Cass.
We met, because that's like when we finally
when you and her
made contact, because I was seeing her on the comments at first. Hi, Jeanne. And we had this like love affair going through just on comments, and then when we finally saw each other at your wedding, it was amazing. So she wrote on your honeymoon episode, hi Adele, so great meeting you, you are adorable, Tommy. I love that. Like she's talking to you. Happy you had a fun honeymoon, relieved Alex is okay.
Coming in at number 8. You put my mother at number 8.
And then I put her also at number 7.
She's at number 7 too?
Yeah, she has 2.
She does have a lot of comments. And I have my comments on her comments.
This is her making a joke, which I loved. This is on Josh Adam Meyer's episode. This guy is interesting as heck. I will definitely not be putting mushrooms on anything anymore.
Because he ate mushrooms and went to concerts.
That was his like attempt.
Yeah, the most depressing thing is when the only comment on our YouTube like episode is my mom. That's happened like once or twice. Hey, get your goddamn hoodie back on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's also funny when a mom listens to a podcast. Like, I think I like partly do this podcast for her.
You know, you could just call her.
I know, and it's the same thing with her comments. Like, she could just text me. She doesn't have to comment on the YouTube.
Well, no, she's doing it.
She's retired. She's got nothing better to do.
No, she's giving you Algo Love also.
Yeah, it's all Algo Love. But is it, though? I think Algo Love has to be more than... But what does Algo Love do if it's...
I mean, Algo stands for algorithm, correct?
Yeah.
Right. It's creating like this thing that people are interested in it. So your mom commenting and then you replying to it makes it seem like there's.
I don't reply to it.
Well, that you're hurting your algo love.
You hit the like button. Come on.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, of course. Well, I'm not gonna dislike it. That's rude.
But it's this perception that like all internet stuff like that pushes it forward.
Totally.
Right. But does it actually? Who knows?
All right. I like this one.
This is number 6.
Yes, Joe List episode,
Okay.
and the handle was Jad, J-A-D, capital.
Oh yeah, you've been reading the usernames, right? Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6.
Number 6, and I like this because it affected him or her, who knows, made me want to travel more. So it's like, all right, got inspired, love it.
That
Big
is nice.
Joe List fan, great pod concept, nice sounding talking voices. Now this is the nice part. Adele is positively stunning, beautiful, warm, adorable, attractive woman. But this is the best part. Helps pod. And helps pod.
What's this guy's name?
Jad, J-A-D, Jad.
How did you come up with that username? I'm just kidding. You
Yeah,
did
right.
help the pod. Oh man,
Very sweet.
that's a long one too. Some of these comments are long. I have a couple long ones on my list.
This is a quick one. It probably should have been like
Hey,
7
take
or
it
8.
easy. You slow it down, all right?
I know, but I'm seeing this one. I'm like, this one isn't as good as that one. Katie Boyle's
Wait,
episode.
this is number 5.
This is number 5, but it should
Okay.
have probably been up around 8 or 7. But it's okay. Katie Boyle's episode, handle Matt Kenney, which comments a lot, which I appreciate him. Hey, Matt.
Hey, shout
I
out to
love
Matt.
this podcast. I'm spreading the word. If only that worked.
You did do a good job, buddy.
Your algo love wasn't enough. And
Thanks
you're
for
spreading the word
trying.
with shit.
Thank you, Matt, for trying. I'm sure he did, because he's not going to just say that in a comment. I'm sure he probably told a friend, and that's really what it was about. I wish my friends watched or
Well,
listened
you said
more.
that, but no, you can't rely on your friends.
No,
you
you
need strangers.
Strangers support your creative projects more than friends, I find.
Correct.
sometimes.
Well, that's how it has to be. 'Cause
Well,
you
if
can't
all-
have.
yeah.
All of your friends are like creative comedy people.
They're
No.
not. I'm talking about like my actual friends from like high school that
They're
are
like
in the
clean
business.
stock worker friends.
Right.
Yeah.
The more like normal friends you have, the better. If you have like other comedy friends, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was hoping. Like my
They're downvoting this. I do.
they wanted to fail, actually. No, I don't. But, some people just don't listen to podcasts. Those are my friends. That's just what it is.
Sure.
But, could have hit the like button on Instagram a bit more.
Would have
Girls.
helped, right? Well, Adele's friends are the reason this podcast is over.
It's like an
Where's
airing
the
of
love?
grievances. This is like a Festivus episode.
It really is.
You should start naming people. Adele going, Stacy, how come you didn't like this post? Bitch.
We'll at her friends and make this the clip.
Yeah. Thanks for the likes. We had to stop doing this.
Merry Christmas, you cunt.
Okay.
Okay, they couldn't all be positive. This is on the list just because I think it's
Okay,
hilarious.
you're going so quickly that I'm having no. It's
Well,
all
some of the
good.
comments were, "This is slow paced. Fucking, this shit is too slow."
Fair
So
enough.
I learned something
We're
reading
fixing
back.
everything on this episode. Wait, is this number 5 or number 4?
This is number 4 now.
Number 4. Okay.
All right, it's a little negative, but it's hilarious.
Okay.
Brenton Sagalow was the guest.
Uh-huh.
Handle is Zebatata. Zebatata. Zebatata.
Okay.
Few tips.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Discount Marin.
that's me.
Mark
People-
Maron.
Yeah, people say
That's pretty good.
Discount Marin needs to pick up some energy. This is great. Yoko Esposito. Because I'm Asian and look Spanish. Yoko Esposito needs to speak louder or get better sound. And you need a producer to Google shit. So I could
he had some good points there.
some good points.
Uh-huh.
I'm not, I'm constructive criticism.
That was a constructive criticism. You called me a fucking bargain
A poor
basement.
man's Mark Maron.
It's really not
that's
that
like
bad,
that's
I
a
know.
compliment.
People,
I mean,
many people have said that.
if you're like a
actually.
B-level Mark Maron, that's still very
Sure,
successful.
he's wildly successful. So if you could just be like right under that, you'd be good to go. Alex would be set.
Kevin Brennan said that he got into podcasts because he saw Mark Maron was doing it, and he was like, anybody could do it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Mark has such a good voice, though, for a podcast. He's wildly funny.
I like Tom.
hey, listen, this is a fun goodbye episode, all right? We're not getting contentious or angry. We're having fun, Death, okay? You're taking the podcast to hell. Take it easy. Relax. We got 35 more minutes. So that was number 4. Yeah, I put the insulting ones higher up on the list.
Yeah.
As opposed to number 4. But yes, I know what you mean. The audio level is always a big comment of like the audio level is low when I was like going through the comments. But then I would like listen to the episode and it wasn't that low. It's like your headphones suck. Also, people complain about free podcasts. It's like... But I also understand their point too.
Are you like trying to defend it to me?
I don't talking.
I mean, if anything, that's not like your fault.
Audio level is low.
The audio level is like.
Yeah, no, but the Yoko Esposito.
I mean, yeah, that's extremely offensive. Yeah.
No, like the details, because clearly they listened. Because I don't say it every episode that I'm part Japanese. It's like in the mix. So this person,
sure.
Yeah. So the details get me. I love.
So they're
details.
like, they're actually a big fan, but are like,
just try to help at the end of the day. But total shade. It's so funny. The budget Mark Maron stuff is funny to me.
I think that's why you put it on, and you're trying to make this a contentious last episode. What if I started crying?
Someone wrote that we should have an episode just of you picking on me, so they like it.
Who said that? My mom?
Okay, so this one is...
Coming in at number 3.
This is Drew Dunn's episode. Mao Stodon wrote, damn, Adele really out here getting boyfriends and shit. Great episode.
I'm surprised this isn't number 1.
It's just funny because they were along for the ride.
They were.
Yeah.
Look at how far you've come in this time that we've done this podcast.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Pretty awesome. You know, the comments of people saying like Adele is getting more comfortable, having conversations, early ones, and then they're following the journey.
Yada, yada, yada. She finally got a man.
And then it comes down to she finally got herself a boyfriend, which I thought is super cute.
Do you have a boyfriend, Des? Who do you go with? The devil?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, yeah, that is good. I feel like...
Just sounds like Adele should just have her own podcast.
She should.
Like, every one of these comments is very, like, Adele heavy.
To be fair, these are Adele's top 9
comments. This is my top 9.
But no, she does have a lot of
But people are
comments.
invested in your life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, a little bit.
The Adele show.
This one is actually about me too, so we might as well get into it.
Number 2, sure.
And this guy commented a lot. He's like very committed. So
What's
we're gonna
his name?
miss you, Cameron Scott.
Yes.
Cameron Scott.
Big
What's
fan
up,
of
Cameron?
yours. Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support.
Thanks for nothing.
On Sharad's episode, my 40th birthday, and you know, counting down to my 40th.
That was a very interesting time in the podcast, I think.
Yeah,
the
countdown
dark time.
to my birthday was a lot. So this comment was meaningful and like hit home, and it was really sweet. Adele, you are so fine. Age is a bullshit arbitrary number. Do not believe the hype. Also, sexy is the co-host. And Sharad, quite funny, all of you. Thanks for the laughs.
Nice. That was the one episode we drank too.
Yeah.
We had a cocktail.
The thanks for the laughs got me, and like, don't believe the hype. Age is just a number.
Sure.
That kind of sentiment got me, and I like really appreciated that.
Is the sexy co-host comment aimed at Tom?
Yeah, of course.
No, because he's like, Adele, age is just a number, but also there's a sexy
code. No, he meant me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was me. And I guess this is number 1.
Number 1.
That
was top YouTube comment.
The details, and this is one of my favorite episodes with Amy Cardinale. That's how you say her name.
Yeah.
The handle was Michael Smith. And he wrote, Adele losing it at 21 minutes and 14 seconds was gold in all caps.
Yes. I think that was our clip, right? Yeah. That we used from that episode. Yeah. That was very funny because we were talking about being blind and her needing a boyfriend or something, or being blind or deaf.
Yeah. Would you rather be blind or have a boyfriend?
Yeah, or something like that. But it was very funny.
I was like, I'll be blind with a boyfriend. Yes.
Yeah, because also the clip was like, you were talking about you'd want to see your child.
Yeah.
And then they were like, do you have one? And you're like, no.
Yeah. Because Tom is like, the real question started off, would you rather be blind or deaf? And I said, deaf, and he's like, no way, music, like how could you not want to hear? I'm like, how could you not want to see your baby girl? And the guest is like confused, doesn't really know me. She's like, you have kids? I was like, no. She's like, you have a boyfriend? I'm like, no. It was all hypothetical, but I committed. I'm a dreamer. So but the details of 21 minutes 14 seconds in, it's gold. I love that he like took the time to pause, see where we're at, write that comment. So thank you so much. That was sweet.
That was great.
Yeah.
It was good. Good list.
Thank you.
We can get into mine now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Sorry, we had to break because Adele started crying. I'm just kidding. I had to blow my nose. Okay, now we're going on to my top 9 comments, YouTube comments. Coming in at number 9 is the Adam Man 2315 from Stavros Halkias episode. What's the point of the TV in the back if they aren't bringing up pictures of the items on the list? It's a banner, man. You know? I put number 9 as a complainy one because there's a lot of complainy comments, you know? But, like, you know, it's up there because it's up there.
It's a logo, bro.
Listen, I'm going to have to side with the comment on this one.
You think so, Dev?
Well, just even for this episode, like, no one's going to... There's not going to be a visual of these comments.
That's
correct?
why we're saying the handle.
I write down the number. I write down number 9, and I put what the person is. So I put graphics.
I know,
put
but the
list.
actual graphic of the comment.
I will. No, I'll put the list.
Would have been so good. What's his name?
Yeah, but
good point. Number 9. Adele, on your future solo podcast, make sure you have good graphics.
It's not a bad comment. I just think it's funny that people's critiques are funny.
I think it's a valid one.
It is valid, and it's also still annoying. Shut up and just listen to the podcast. You need a visual, too, for this free podcast. The Adam 2315. But yeah, I get it. Coming in at number 8 from the Robbie Goodwin episode, Yoni Yamplosky wrote, love the contrasting energy levels. And in parentheses, it said cocaine versus heroin. And he was saying Robbie's cocaine, and I think I'm heroin.
Yeah.
I don't think you're heroin. Yeah. Or maybe we're heroin together.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Different stages of being heroin.
Uh-huh.
You're the withdrawal. I'm the feel-good part.
Uh-huh. You when you're going like this, huh? They say the best part of the high is right before you do it.
There you go.
I don't know. I've never done heroin.
When you suck the guy's cock right before you do it, is that what happens?
Jeez Louise.
Sorry. We'll fix it in post. Coming in at number...
You should have a graphic of someone sucking some cock.
Of you sucking somebody off.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. Coming in at number 7 from the Scott Chaplin episode. Chris Bloom...
some good guests. How come this didn't work out?
No.
Yeah, some funny comedians.
We ran out of guests, man.
Yeah, Joe List on.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We jumped up when we had Mark Norman. Yeah. We
our
went from like
biggest.
250.
I have a comment for Mark Norman, so let's not bury the lead. Okay. Coming in at number 7 from the Scott Chaplin episode, Chris Bloomfield wrote, I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard it to be true. 9-inch nails comes from the length of the nails that were driven into Jesus Christ's body upon crucifixion. You know, this has been a pro-Jesus podcast, I think, throughout on my end.
Sure.
So, you know, it's a mention of Jesus, but it's number 7 because it's sad because it's him getting crucified. It's also just a fun fact.
Yeah, it made us go, oh.
What's the context of the...
We're talking about what 9-inch Nails, the band, where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave his...
He dropped the facts, but what were you guys saying?
I don't know.
It was top 9 rock bands or songs? What was it?
Scott Chaplin's? No, he did top 9 nines.
Oh, top 9
Oh, that's clever. Yeah, that's good.
So cute. I love
Yeah.
when guests came with the cleverness.
Yeah.
You brought it. Yeah, top 9 nines. We were like, 9-inch nails, what does it mean? And then sure enough,
Yep.
fact check
But
in our
also,
comments.
it's not a fact check at all because he was like...
Is it wrong?
He said, no, I don't know. I didn't look. But he said, I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard it to be true. It's just like...
Well, listen, if you
You can
guys
say anything.
Someone
with that.
wrote a comment, 53 minutes of misinformation, but I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely...
that other comment saying if you guys had a producer that could Google stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, these are like good pointers here.
Yeah, that's why it's making the list.
Okay.
This is my top 9 YouTube comments.
This is a shout out to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying, hey, you're a cocksucker, but you made a good point.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 6, love you, Jesus, by the way. Before I get off of Jesus, somebody said that. I forget what podcast it was. Someone said they were getting beat up by like their mom. Like, you know, like kids used to get beat when they were little back in the old days. And he was like, help me, Jesus. And it made her stop beating him. So he like used that later in life. I think it might have been Evander Holyfield on Mike Tyson's podcast. I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard it to be true. I think that was Evander Holyfield. Okay, number 6, Colin Terrell's episode. Terrell, I apologize. This is Michael Smith. Many comments from Michael Smith. Liza Minnelli is absolutely Judy Garland's daughter. That's just it's another fact check.
Yeah.
And also I remember that because I was like, no, she's not his daughter.
I said yes, but in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, I hope I'm right.
Yeah, you did say that you were right, but then I talked you into not being right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he said that, then I remembered that it was true, too. So this comment has like a backstory in my life, past the podcast.
It makes me believe in myself.
Hey, you were right.
Don't doubt yourself, Adele.
Yep.
Yoko Esposito.
Uh-huh.
You got this.
Yeah, Michael Smith had a lot of comments. He was a big fan of yours as well.
Yes.
How about
Thank you. Follow me on Instagram.
What'd you say?
Was he a fan of yours?
He was like testy. He reminds me of like a January 6th type of guy, probably like that type of thing.
Sorry, I don't agree.
Or like you
Wow,
like an
you guys
old
cut
timer.
your fan base in half just now.
I mean, maybe. Number 5 was the Melly P drop and some algo love. We already talked about that.
Thanks again, Melly.
Coming in at number 4, this is from the Mark Norman episode. This is from TheThejaketucker. He said, I was ready to hate this show. I'm happy to be wrong. I like this show.
I like that comment too. Yeah. It was really good.
I was like that, because that's how I always like looked at like listening to rap music. Rap has been at the forefront of this podcast a lot. And I like when I don't like something and then I like it. So, that's nice of him.
Makes me feel good and won him over.
Also, but what is initially unlikable about us, do you think?
I guess it came from Mark and was like, who are these people not worthy? A lot of people, that was the kind of theme, like, our subscribers were low and we had like Ari Shafir and Mark, like, how the fuck do they get these guys? So I guess he was coming at it like, who are these people? Not really like us or the
who
concept.
Who are these people? Fair enough.
We won him over.
Yeah, like a comedy snob fan kind of. Where I'm like, I know everything about this world and who the fuck is Tom Cassidy?
Hey, take it easy.
Like, who is this nobody?
All right, Death.
This bottom feeder talking to the Mark Norman. How dare he?
Wait,
also Adele is beautiful.
Literally.
It's like,
wait a minute. Are you the Jake Tucker?
I'm all of these, yeah.
Okay. Oh my Lord. Coming in at number 3, this is from the Corinne Fisher episode, which was also another good
guys
episode.
got Corinne?
Yeah. She did a great episode.
No,
Top 9 ways to die.
Great friend.
Top 9 ways. She doesn't even know your name.
To get murdered.
No, she does.
I'm just kidding.
I knew Corinne before comedy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What you guys do?
No, I just met her at some party. She was like a friend of one of my friend's girlfriends. Something.
I co-hosted an open mic with her in like 2010 at Broadway Comedy Club.
I could see that. I remember meeting her at this party through like a friend, and she was like, "Oh, I do stand up." And then like I looked through like her social media and like maybe Facebook at the time, and it was like show posters. I was like, she doesn't do comedy. I was like, what is this? This is nothing.
Next minute, wildly successful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
little anecdote there. Sorry.
That was
we'll cut that out.
Yeah,
please.
we'll cut that one out. This episode's been. This has been a great episode so far. Up until
you guys should keep it going.
Up until that point. Besides that story you just told.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure you never do it again.
Yeah, and you spit on my hand a little bit there.
Yeah.
You have a certain repugnant quality to you, don't you? Yeah. Okay, so from that episode, Maddie W wrote, "A person can drown in less than 60 seconds." So
no
good.
context?
No, not really. Well, no, the episode was about the top 9 ways Corinne would like to die.
Jesus.
Or maybe be murdered.
Murdered, yeah.
Yeah. But, man, do you think you would drown in 60 seconds? Because you were a saxophone player.
Yeah.
So you probably got strong lungs, right?
No, weak everything.
Okay.
Weak, frail everything, yeah.
How would you like to be murdered? How would death like to be murdered?
Listening to this podcast.
Fair enough.
Blowing my brains out as soon as I leave.
Well,
all right.
You're right on the right track, buddy. But yeah, I mean...
What was the comment again?
That's just a dangerous... it's just so funny to me. A person can drown in less than 60 seconds. It's funny.
But...
What?
I feel like they could drown... Or I don't really get... That's not really like a fat... It's like less than 60... Like you could... I feel like you could probably drown even faster.
I mean, she should have probably said the thing of like... I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard it to be true. But I mean, I think if you're like struggling for 60 seconds, you could probably drown in 60 seconds.
But I mean... But she said... But it's less than... Right, so 1 second is less than 60 seconds. Like, what does that mean?
Well, we were talking about an episode being like held down, choked, like... the act of being murdered, and I guess she's saying that it'll go quick. You'll go quick. Like, don't struggle.
And I think we were talking about drowning. Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah.
You made a comment. The guy's finally touching me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When he drowned you.
He drowned
Jesus.
you.
At least you're getting the touch of a man.
Yeah.
I don't want to verbally abuse you forever, too. This has to end.
It was funny. Comedy. Comedy.
Okay.
Mark Norman voice. Comedy.
Coming in at number 2, this is from the Natalie Carr episode. This is from Jeanne Cass, my mom.
Yeah.
She wrote, "I am not crazy." I mean, there's nothing crazier than that. Writing "you're not crazy" on a YouTube comment. But yeah, I guess we were talking about how she's crazy.
She's the best.
So funny, man.
Why are you calling your mom crazy on this? She's one of your biggest...
Does she know this is ending?
She's one of your biggest supporters, and she's like vocally supporting you, and you're just shitting on your poor mom.
We were talking yesterday, me and your mom.
Oh, were you? I would not be surprised.
No, we really were. She said, I missed top 9, and I was like, because last week we didn't have an episode.
Did she DM you?
Yeah, she said I look beautiful. I posted a picture. She said, "Happy holidays. You look beautiful." I was, "Happy holidays, Jeannie."
See,
that's really sweet.
She's not just YouTube comment. So, all right, I know what you're doing there. Of like, why are you calling your mom crazy? But like, would you just? I'm asking you now, as a human being, would you want your mom to listen to your podcast?
But I'm
just curious.
No, but I'd like...
You'd like her to tuck you in, though, wouldn't you?
I would keep her away.
Draw you a bath.
I would keep her, like, away from this.
It's impossible.
But I also just call her and talk to her like a son.
I talk to my mom every day.
No, but I feel like you do it through these, like, platforms where you're like, "Mom, if you want to talk to me, like and subscribe to my podcast."
No, that's not it.
Right? Like, if you want to communicate
she wants every angle.
If you want to talk to me
on Twitter, she's DMing Adele.
Yeah. If you want to talk to me, make sure you like my Instagram post.
She's asking Adele to send feet pics.
Jeez.
Oh, Jesus.
$7.
But no, hey, I love you. That's why you made number 2 on the list, huh? It's not too bad.
When you were like a little kid or whatever, and you had friends over.
You're a little kid now.
Look young.
You too.
Your little kid hands.
No, so like,
is there another little kid on the bottom of that hoodie?
Yeah. So, and you had friends over. Would you like lash out at your mom in front of them? Would you be like,
"Shut up, mom"?
Yeah, like, "Shut the fuck up, mom!" Like, or like, "We asked for pizza." Yeah.
Well,
I knew that.
Well, you know what? I like had that a little bit, but I think she also
we said pizza, mom. Like, fuck
she
you.
liked to tell people that too. She's like, she's a classic Catholic lady of like, being on the cross. Mm-hmm. I love you. You're a good lady. But yeah, there's a little bit of that. Not you, because your mom would have, because she's a Russian immigrant, right?
Yeah, I have like weird immigrant parents. Like I kept my, I didn't let anyone see them.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I was like trying to be like, I'm like an American kid, like everyone.
Sure. Fair enough.
I was always proud of my parents. My mom, she's so pretty. Like, Ma, can you come to school? Can you pick me up? I loved it.
I feel like I was like that when I was like 6.
Yeah, it's the
You
best.
know? Yeah.
Stay in touch, Jeannie.
Don't worry, she will. You don't have to tell her. Okay. This is a very long comment. This comes in at number 1. This is from the Carly Aquilino episode, another good one. I'm going to read this in parts. And this was edited too, so I think he just kept adding on to it, I think. John Phantom wrote, "Infinity goes 2 ways. Think of how infinitely small a measurement... I'm sorry, let's just start from the top. I messed up. Infinity goes 2 ways. Think of how infinitely small a measurement can get, and in parentheses, there's a theorized limit, Planck's constant." So that's the first part of this YouTube comment, because we were talking about infinity, and I'd like to think that Top 9 Podcast will go on in infinity, you know?
No, this is the last one for sure.
Ever. Always will live on the internet.
Yes.
No, they'll get taken down.
I don't know if I want to pay that
Tom
$20
gets canceled.
Start a GoFundMe from your fans to take it down.
I like this, Top 9 Infinity. So then the second part of this comment is, I agree, Whitney had the most beautiful voice. So he was talking about Whitney Houston. So that's the second part of the comment. So this guy's already talked about Infinity and Whitney Houston. Then he said, a couple years ago, I put to sleep my 8-year-old Tigger, the terrible, terrifying tiger, after he had a good life, staying in the house during the day sleeping, and I would let him out at night to go hunt. He was always home the next morning to rest on the bed for the day. So I guess he had a cat that he named.
Carly does have some cat lady vibes going on, so her fan group.
Because he doesn't actually have a tiger, right?
No, he's calling his cat a tiger.
Okay, so that was the third part. So yeah, he really painted a picture there. And then he said, wait, did I say he was always home the next morning to rest on the bed for the day?
No.
So that was the end of that part. So that was part 3. Then he said, the wax turns into a burnable vapor that takes from the liquid and solid of the candle and goes into the air. You smell it, the burned product. When we were trying to figure out how candles burn.
Where do candles go? How do they burn?
And then again, Top 9, it was like a candle. And now the candle has burnt.
And the light is about to go out.
But it went up into infinity.
Okay.
You know?
I literally, I understood the words. Those were all words I understand. I literally didn't understand anything in that comment. Fair. To me, that was like, it was
the musings of an insane man.
The AI chat thing that's been going around, and where people are like, I feel like that's what that is. Is like, give me chatbot, give me a comment to write for the Carly Aquilino Top 9 episode.
No, he referenced the candle. It was real. It was a real person who actually watched the episode.
I know what you mean, and I know what you mean, but it's almost only a human being could produce something like that. I think a robot would attempt to do something like that, but
that's what that sounded.
The stream of thought consciousness
made sense for the episode.
All of his thoughts on the episode, and they all kind of stuck together beautifully as well.
What was the context of the infinity?
We were talking about, there was the top 9 things that keep her up at night.
And just the idea of infinity kept her up?
Yeah, it's one of the things.
Wow.
What keeps you up at night?
Well, now I'll sleep like a baby knowing that this podcast doesn't exist.
His work is done here.
Play the song again. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that was my top 9. That was your top 9.
Yeah, it's great.
Folks, thank you for listening.
Yes, sincerely.
Shout out to everybody that we already shouted out. Shout out to Alex Tonello, another positive fan who I saw in Boston and who I know. Shout out to anybody we forgot. We're not trying to leave you out or anything like that. We appreciate you. Thank you. Also, to everybody I thanked, thank you for doing this. We did it for a long time. Mm-hmm. I think that it was a good concept. There's definitely some really good episodes in there.
Agreed.
There were some really bad episodes
too. Thank you for asking me to co-host with you.
Of course. It was we started at the stand. we came here. Thank you to Gotham Podcast Studio. We appreciate it.
Levels are a little low.
You're not even talking into the microphone anymore. I mean, I do plan on doing another podcast at some point. I just have to think about what that is. But
top 6.
Maybe.
You know, sometimes at the stand, people will be like, top 9. Like, shout it out at me.
Oh, yeah.
It's super sweet.
People have commented when I'm on the road with Are You Garbage, you know? People said, you know.
Yeah, so come to
tell
the stand.
Adele I said hello.
Be my guest. Say hello.
Yeah, man. I don't want to forget anybody. Oh, so yeah. To everyone I thanked, also, you're welcome, too. Okay? Because all we did was just do a podcast for free for 2 years, and it was content, and there is a lot of funny stuff in there. So you're welcome. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Adele, do you have any last thoughts?
Wishing everyone all the best in 2023. Happy, healthy new year. Stay in touch. Say hello on Instagram. And thank you.
Every ending is another beginning.
Just a big old thank you.
This is Top 9 signing out.
Bye.
Good night.
I feel like I want to cry.
And good luck.
Bye.
See you in podcast hell.